In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
All right. This is Bryce D. Nyer coming at you from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg. It's another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix, an attorney's exodus from what? From bondage. And so we are here tonight with yours truly and our law firm mascot, Drake, the Labrador Retriever, who's undergoing medical treatment for a very serious thing. And we may discuss that tonight or maybe in a later episode. But tonight, we're going to focus on this thing called hacks. Yeah, hacks. You're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? Hacks. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. Well, everybody seems to throw this term out about hack this, hack that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about hacking your computer. It's about taking shortcuts. People who claim on social media, I have the solution, I am the answer, you can skip all these steps to achieve greatness, blah, 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 blah. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. I'm here to tell you. I have lived a while. I've been a lawyer for a long time. Before that, I was an Army officer. I'm going to tell you something. There is no shortcuts to doing it the right way. It just does not exist. It doesn't. And I don't care what people tell you, and I don't care what they broadcast on social media. You can certainly reduce time to get stuff done, which is called collapsing time, which is what we talk about in our program, the Junior Partner Program, which is true. But it only comes as a result of people who do the work and do it in such an intense and consistent repetitious manner that they get things done. And what I have learned from being involved in programs such as Wake Up Warrior, Pivot, working with Bryce Prescott with my podcast is that I am required to do things every day and every week in order to move forward. Now, the truth of the matter is sometimes I am successful and sometimes I am not. And that's why I have to report in daily on what's called my core four, the body, being, balance, and business. And then we have what we call, and we can pour the daily two, which is podcasting and webinars. And there are some other things that we're required to do. And it's designed to keep men and women on track to achieve things to be the best version of who they can be. And it's the only way to reduce the amount of time. But that doesn't mean there's a hack. That doesn't mean there's a shortcut. There isn't a shortcut. It's just a more organized and consistent, repetitious way of taking action that reduces the amount of time considerably that people who don't do things with intensity or ruthless commitment would take. So when you see all this stuff and you read it about hacks, I'm just going to tell you something. It's fluff, okay? It's just, the magic, elixir that's supposed to cure everything, and that just doesn't exist. It's just like, it's like getting fit, okay? Like fitness. Like you can sit there and you can look on social media or TV all day about all these different fitness machines, whether it's the Total Gym, the Bowflex, the 90-day programs. I mean, there's just a smorgasbord of equipment and stuff you can do. But at the end of the day, for example, in body and fitness, there is no shortcut. You are either going to do the exercises or you're not. You're either going to have proper nutrition or you're not. And there have been times I've been in really good physical shape, looked good physically, and felt good because I did the work. And then when I started to like kind of slough off, I was kind of out of power and I didn't feel well. I didn't feel good. I didn't look good. And you can slip into that. That's called sedations. And you get into a pit. So, but in this example that I'm talking about, I mean, there's just no shortcut. When you look at athletes in their professions, whether it's in the Olympics or professional sports or college, even high school, junior, whatever, the men and women, the boys and girls that participate in these sports that excel did not have a hack. There was no substitution for the physical pain and the physical training that they had to endure, that they had to do on a consistent, ruthlessly committed basis in order to be the best athlete in what they did. There's just no shortcut. In the legal profession, i.e. the legal matrix, sure, there's AI programs which can do your legal research faster, bring you case law faster, review a document. But at the end of the day, in the legal profession, the legal matrix, it will still come down to the man or woman in the cockpit flying the fighter jet in litigation. I mean, that's it. You can have certain software and certain hardware which can make the process go faster in producing things, but it doesn't mean that you're going to stop thinking. It doesn't mean you're going to stop having to do certain actions in order to produce a quality outcome. So that's why I think it's critically important for you law students to understand when you're fed all this crap about there's a hack to this and a hack to that. It's like the bar exam. Okay, look, when you law students take the bar exam, there are bar prep courses that you will take. And here's what you're going to find. When you get the books from the bar prep courses, they will outline almost every course you were required to take in law school. And then you're going to get pissed. And you want to know why you're going to get pissed? Because you're going to find out that you could have had this outline all along and made things a lot more organized in order to learn. But they didn't want you to do that because they wanted you to go through a process of where you were forced to think. You were forced to analyze data, to assimilate the data, to sift through it, to think, to make you actually think. Because if they give you all of the answers up front, you're not going to think. It's kind of like free will. God gives you free will. He's not going to sit there and program you like a robot. He's going to give you a choice. And when you have choices, it makes you really think about what you're doing or what you're failing to do, what you're saying or what you're failing to say. And it's forcing you inside your heart and your mind and your body to take what? To take action. So anytime you see these people on social media talking about hacks, it's just bullshit. Okay? It's total bullshit. There's no hacks. Even in my junior partner program, there's no shortcut to what a law student or a college student or a high school student who want to eventually open, own, operate, and lead a law firm have to do. They still have to come in. They still have to sit at the table. They still have to do the physical work. They still have to talk to people. They still have to talk to the attorneys, the judges, the clients, me, the staff. I mean, everybody. They'll have software and computers and, all that kind of crap. But again, there's no shortcut to doing it right. They're still going to have to review their work. They're still going to have to look at it. They're still going to have to sign it. They're going to have to look at it again before it's filed, either manually or electronically, whatever the systems are that are in place. There is never, ever going to be a true thing as a hack of where you're not going to have to do a certain amount of work to achieve a superior result. It's just not going to happen. And it drives me absolutely batshit crazy when I sit there and see these people, especially when they tout to lawyers a lot. We can do A, B, and C. We can 10X this. We can 10X that. Blah, 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 blah. No. What they are doing is assimilating people in different areas, which will guide you through certain skill sets on a certain path and train you. But at the end of the day, they're going to pass the torch. They're going to give you the curriculum. They're going to give you the knowledge, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, some of these folks are good at what they do, but it's still up to you when the torch is passed to you that you take the curriculum, that you take the knowledge, and you go out and you go to war. You deploy and you apply the skill sets and you apply the curriculum and you apply the knowledge, but you have to be the leader. You have to be the one that takes the action. And if you fail to take the action, you're going to get crappy results. That's it. The end. There's no analysis to it. There's no analysis to it. There are people that are truly great in teaching and articulating things that allow people to consume the concepts faster and better than other people that can't teach worth a damn. But in your mind, you still have to process it. You still have to understand it. But some people can parlay that to you to where you can understand it faster and better and quicker and deploy faster. See, AI is available to everybody. There's no advantage to anybody in the world today with artificial intelligence. Absolutely zero. Everybody has access to it. They can pay for it, for that stuff that's not free. That's not the test. The test is when you take the AI and you apply it to what you do, it's how quickly you deploy it to the war zone and how you use it. That's what it comes down to. How you deploy and how you use it. And you're going to have to be faster, and you're going to have to be better, and you're going to have to be more articulate, and you're going to have clarity, and you're going to have focus, and you're going to have your domains of body, of being, a balance, of business, and fulfillment in order. And if you don't, then somebody's going to beat you to it. There's always somebody out there looking to beat you down, to beat you, to be number one. There can only be one number one. I don't care what people do. There is no such, this crap about participation trophies in sports and other events is the biggest bunch of misleading bullshit I've ever seen in my entire life. Look, if you didn't come in first, you lost. That's it. The end. This stuff about second place, third place, blah, blah, blah. Big deal. Big deal. You compete in a sport, you ran a race. If you didn't come in first, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You lost. That's it. The end. You go to court and the jury comes back and convicts your client. You lost the case until you appeal it. Maybe you'll win it on appeal. You go to a civil case and they get a judgment against your client. You lost. You get a judgment against the other side. You won, unless it's reversed on appeal. That's it. This whole concept of we've got hacks for this, hacks for that. I'm telling y'all out there, no. No. Don't feed into that. Don't feed into that. There is no shortcut to greatness. I wish there was a shortcut to greatness, because if there was, I'd have been fantastically great a long time ago. And of course, maybe in my own mind, I am great, but others, I'm not. And there's just been no shortcut for me, even though I've been an attorney for a long time. There were things that I did not discover until about 6 years ago. Now, had I known about these things or had these programs been put in place, such as Wake Up Warrior, years and years ago when I was first starting out, sure, I would have had a curriculum and process and other stuff, just like, podcasting and stuff. Bryce Prescott, who does my podcast, is just fantastic. But there's no shortcut. He just has the experience and the knowledge, decades of experience of getting it done, of knowing how to cut through the red tape and how to edit and produce and just produce a quality product. It's someone like me that doesn't have that type of skill set. I'd want to take my 9mm and start shooting up all the equipment, and just blast it from here to Kingdom Come. Okay. So I want you law students, and I want you folks out there that are thinking about going to law school to understand and get it clear in your head and understand this message. This thing of of hacking or a hack, shortcuts, it's a fallacy. It's a delusion. It's a deception. No, there's no such thing. There's just better curriculums, people that are better at teaching and articulating or parlaying to you the process to help you better understand it. But again, the torch must pass. You law students, when you're done with law school, when you're done with the bar exam, you're done. That's it. The curriculum up to that level is done. Now the torch is passed. Now you must deploy. There will not be a shortcut, a hack into going to war with the legal matrix. It does not exist. The legal matrix is powerful. It is powerful. It is a lion on the prowl, seeking to devour those in its path, to control you. And if you have not fine-tuned your curriculum, if you have not fine-tuned your training, if you have not become a leader, you will become a lemming and you will be a slave to the legal matrix. Because if you take the path of shortcuts and hacks, your foundation will be like quicksand. And one day you will sink in your own quicksand, the quicksand of hacking. Okay, so ask yourself the better questions. Starting with, where in your world are you taking shortcuts? What are you doing to become a hack in these domains that you shouldn't be doing? And what should you be doing? What should you be ruthlessly committed to on a daily, consistent basis? I have to ask myself that every single day. And sometimes the answers that come back even to me, they're not pleasant. Sometimes the truth just isn't pleasant. But I know this. There's going to be no shortcut for my transformation, what we're doing here at my law firm. There will never be a shortcut. It will be painful. There will be a process, and I will be required to embrace the pain. So ask yourself that better question. Are you willing to embrace the pain and the process it's going to take to be the best version of who you can be? Or are you just going to be another hack that sinks in the quicksand and is ultimately consumed by who? The legal matrix. This is Bryce Denier coming at you from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg, where every day men and women don the uniform and they go out and do what they lead. They don't take shortcuts. Because I'll tell you something, folks. In the world of war, death does not discriminate. If you take shortcuts, it can shortcut your life. So don't be a hack. Don't take the shortcuts. Be ruthlessly committed to being the best version of who you can be and do it the right way. This is Bryce Denier, and I am out of here.